Adrenaline in my soul.
Something, Cody Rhodes. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so
What
great.
is good, everybody? We are back.
And we're together.
I know, gosh, feels like forever. How's
Yes.
everybody doing on this Tuesday night? Tuesday after the Royal Rumble.
Woo.
We are officially on the road to WrestleMania. Stuffy nose and all on my part. What about you?
I'm doing okay so far. I'm hoping I don't catch any Royal Rumble crud. I was around 48,000 people on Saturday night, so far so good. Hoping and praying it stays that way.
Hopefully so. Yes. So yeah, definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to hearing about your experience. We were both talking about going at one point. Unfortunately for me, I was not able to, but you got to, and
Yes.
so I'm looking forward to hearing all the deets and shenanigans and pops and booze and
Yes. And before we get into all that, let us go ahead and take care of the business. If this is your first time here, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends about Peaches and Power Bombs. We love talking with you guys and interacting with y'all. So make sure that you leave us comments as well. We usually bring those up periodically. Also, before we talk about the match, I do want to shortly but not dwell on it. So if you put any comments about that stuff, we're not going to bring it up because we're going to just talk about it for a second and then leave it. We are very aware of the allegations against Vince McMahon and several people, and we do not condone that kind of behavior on Peaches and Power Bombs. Absolutely. Please do not leave any negative comments. I know that some of us were former fans of certain people that were named, and it's not our fault. We don't know these people. So therefore, just let's move on and talk about the innocent people like
the hardworking talent that did an excellent job this weekend.
Yes. It was a really great weekend. We got in on Thursday, and we sort of just hung out on Friday and did some fun things in St. Petersburg and in Clearwater where we were staying. And then Saturday morning we went to the Superstore, and that was really cool. We got to see Big E, we got to see R-Truth, and we got to see Tyler Breeze in person. So that was pretty cool.
Cool. So you were the one that told him to enter in the women's rumble.
Yes, it was me. I'm sorry. It was me. So sorry, guys. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and is definitely something that I'm never going to forget. So let's go ahead and get into some comments, and then we will talk about the actual show. Christina's here.
Miss Mina says hi to everybody. She
He
missed being
says,
live. Can't you tell?
"Oh yes, she loves to be the center of attention." Says,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey girls, great to see you both. Glad you're here, Christine." And I believe this is Chris.
From the Straight Up Wrestling Show, y'all check them out. They're on all the
every
time,
every day, all
every
day.
day.
And of course, our friend Elvis is here, and I have a present for both you and Elvis later on when we get into that part of the show. So stay tuned. And Christine says hello to Mina. She has a fan.
Uh-huh. I like the way she spelled Mina.
She is. She can be a mean.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So let's
Oh
go
yeah.
ahead and get into the show. I will say this, as especially in the women's rumble, they do not do these women justice with their entrance music. A lot of them have generic music nowadays, and you cannot tell who it is until their names pop up on the screen or you actually see them. We were right beside the entrance, So we didn't get to see them come out. We didn't see them until they actually got into the ring. So if their name didn't pop up on the screen and I didn't recognize their music, I had no idea who it was. Also, they didn't put the numbers on the screen either, so we had no idea what number they were and when it was the end. Till like, oh, 90 seconds has passed and no one's come out yet, so I guess it's over. But
Mm.
those were my two critiques. So hopefully maybe soon they'll fix some of that stuff.
We love you too, Gary Joe. We were just talking about you before we came online.
Oh, yay.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble. Honestly, overall, this was my favorite part of the night. It was match of the night, big time. It was perfectly done in my opinion, and everybody did a great job. And there is just so much excitement and so many surprises too. I was really excited for this whole thing. What did you feel at home?
Yes, the women's rumble to me was better than the men's. There was plenty of mishaps or botches. There was some botches here and there, mishaps, but
I couldn't tell, but I was
yeah.
far away, so
Yeah, no, it was from at home. Very, very good. I'm like you with the music. Like, I couldn't tell who was who at one point, and somebody actually pointed out on social media Seth was the same way in the men's rumble, and I'm like, ooh. But yeah, I love that Naomi came out at number 2. She got a warm welcome. You could tell she was very emotional in the ring. She was crying. It was a very good moment. Jordynne Grace had a great showing.
I popped so big. I was getting so excited, and my dad was like, "Who's that?" Because he doesn't really watch TNA all that much. And I was like, "That's Jordynne Grace. She's the TNA Knockouts champion." And he was like, "They let her come?" I was like, "Yes, Dad, new management."
Alex, he was like, "Oh well, they kept her music and everything." But let me tell you, one of the thoughts that I had during her and her showing was, I need a Jordynne Grace versus Ivy Nile match, or Jordynne Grace and Ivy Nile as a tag team. Like, I need that in my life. Like, they kind of had a cute little moment, and I'm like, oh my god, yes. I didn't realize how bad I needed that, but I do. I really, really need that.
Ivy Nile has really surprised me. Like,
Yeah.
for her stature, she's really good. I'm really impressed by her. I really enjoyed a lot of what she did in the ring, and I think Jordynne Grace also had a moment with. Did she have a moment with Bianca Belair, or am I mistaken, or something? But she was great. She also had a moment with Naomi, and
Yeah,
I watched
was
it back.
good.
I watched it back, and they acknowledged that they just had a match a couple weeks ago for the TNA Knockouts Championship, and so that was super cool. They put Jordynne Grace over big time.
They did. She made a really big impression on the fans and WWE alike. Because Triple H was praising her during the press conference. Excuse me, but I tell you what, nobody liked Nia Jax Saturday for sure.
No, they were booing her out of the building, and she was just basking in it. So
that's good, yeah.
Yeah, she was embracing all of that, and I want to say that maybe the dark horse or the real MVP to me of the Women's Royal Rumble was Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
Yes. And I don't know if you noticed or not, if you saw any clips from Raw last night, but there is a certain someone who is no longer in the company, and she has her entrance back. So they Samantha, or
Oh yeah,
Samantha
I
did
noticed
that
that.
last night, so that was really cool. But she got squished by either Piper Niven or Nia Jax probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 times
I
during
know
that
they
thing.
killed her.
Yes, and her facial expressions and her body movements where she was just doing this and then she fell flat on her face and it was so funny. I died laughing the entire time. My dad and I just got a kick out of Chelsea Green in that Royal Rumble.
I would agree. She was the dark horse in that match because she really sold them like big
Yes.
time.
Made them look like $1,000,000, and then when Becky Lynch just, like, took her little hands off the rope and then just, like, pushed her little face and she just falls back, that was hilarious too. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And we also had another surprise, a debut of some sort in
Oh,
Jade Cargill. I lost my
how was that pop?
It was so loud. I think it might have been the loudest pop of the whole night. It
I
was
mean,
amazing.
I rewatched her debut before I came on here, and it happened Saturday too. But I got straight chills, like oh my god, just straight chills up and down my arms, and I was like, I was like, Jade did that's somebody else that did a fantastic job, and for those of us who follow AEW and WWE, we kind of know Jade's road, and I think this was like a really big milestone for her because Jade really impressed in the Royal Rumble match, and
She eliminated Nia Jax by herself and several other people, and, it was just a great moment for her, and that little face off, that little tease with Bianca Belair, oh
oh,
my goodness.
take my money.
Ooh,
Yes.
goosebumps. So, it's
Yes,
amazing
take
what
my money.
it's
I
amazing what they're doing with the women's division over there. It's
Oh, it's so many possibilities. I mean, it w it was very well done, throughout. Another thing we need to talk about is R-Truth. God bless R-Truth.
I was I was rolling the entire time. Valhalla was trying to go after him, and he gets in, he goes, "Where's all the guys?"
Yeah, he was like, "Where's all the guys at?"
And he gets eliminated, and then Valhalla gets eliminated, and she chases him out, and Adam Pearce is over there like, "Oh lord, this is what I have to deal with."
And you know what? You know what, too, Valhalla, that was a good moment for her too.
Yes.
Cause they coulda easily just, like, forgot about her or whatever, but I like the fact that they kinda gave her a moment to kinda showcase herself, and, that's what I took away from that. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was really funny. It was unexpected,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
yeah, I enjoyed that. I was like, "God bless our truth. I love him."
Yes, I was rolling, I was rolling. I'm pretty sure everybody was getting tired of me laughing so hard, but, it's our truth, you can't help it, and,
I don't think anybody else could get away with it.
I tell you what, anybody who says that Bianca Belair is getting tiresome as a face needs to go to a WWE live event and watch all the kids when she comes out. There was a little girl and a little boy right in front of me, probably about anywhere between 7 and 9 years old. And number one, they were so cute and they paid attention to everything the entire night. Their eyes did not leave that ring. And
Oh.
another thing, when Bianca came out, oh my goodness, they were going nuts. And they didn't
Oh.
go nuts like that for everybody. I mean, they cheered and stuff, but they came unglued when Bianca came out. So I don't see them turning her face anytime soon just because the kids just love her so much. She's such a good role model.
Oh, that's so cute. Gary Joe says the women's rumble was fantastic, one of the best of years. I have to agree. I think the right person won too. It was her year.
Yes, I think that might have been the best women's Royal Rumble we've seen so far.
Christine always disagrees with us for some reason. She didn't want Bailey to win. I like the way she did it too.
Yes.
I mean, there was people that were complaining on how it was done, but everybody's got to remember Bailey may have been the favorite, but Bailey's still a heel. She did it in a heel way.
Yep.
Dude,
She's kind of teetering.
Dude, I need that too.
Oh man,
I need all those things in my life.
They would kill some folks.
Oof, Jesus. Yeah. AEW has Eddie as the Mad King. Maybe someday WWE will get the Mad Queen and Jordan Grace.
Maybe. You never know. That
the
might have
Saint.
Been.
Hey, what's good? From Real Wrestling Community. Go check them out. Ray all day. Adam Cole was king. Yeah, you're right. It's coming.
I want to point out with Bailey, I don't know if anyone noticed, but when she kicked out Liv Morgan, she had that little half up ponytail. She tightened it like she used to when she
was that's a great. Oh wow. That's a great detail. I did not notice that.
I didn't until I watched it over again.
Oh.
And I was like, "Ooh, look what she just did, Dad." And he was like, "I saw that." Sorry, ladies.
Back to work I go. Just wanted to say you're always wanted, loved, and appreciated with me and the next person. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Please go check out Honor the Elite if you haven't yet. They are amazing over there. Very positive.
Yes, but I do say the right person won. Bailey has been so... She has been so consistent in her work.
Yes.
And, I mean, just selflessly put a lot of people over and never complained and just kept going with the flow. And
yep.
I feel like this is her reward. She deserves a singles match at WrestleMania, which
absolutely
she made very, very aware. She's never had a singles match at WrestleMania. This is her year, and I really, really hope the best for her. I gotta blow my nose, but continue.
Yes, and she's been taking the back burner even in her own group. Like, she is like the so-called leader of the group at first, but she slowly started taking the back burner, and like the other members more taking over than anybody else. Alora will be right back, I promise. Christine, do not be sorry. You like who you like, and that's okay, and you dislike who you dislike. Wrestling is very subjective, and if you don't like somebody, then you don't like that person, and it's all cool. Another person who shone pretty well was Tiffany Stratton from NXT, and I think she might be coming to the main roster very soon, along with maybe some other people. I thought she looked great. Maxine Dupree, she was okay. There was some things that I noticed that she didn't do quite right, but she has a lot of charisma and she's trying. So, rooting for her and her getting a little bit better. I did like the fact that they didn't rely too heavily on the the legends and people who are just coming back for a day and then leaving again, and everybody knew that. But they really showcased the current superstars and letting them shine through the entire Royal Rumble event from beginning to end. And they have a very steep roster. And it was just great overall. Any last comments on the Women's Royal Rumble? You're still on mute.
Thank you. You're welcome. I'm glad I was talking.
Yeah, that's okay. Any last comments on the Women's Royal Rumble before we move on? Hello?
No, I think I said what needed to be said. Had a lot of good moments. I enjoyed the surprises that we had. Um, for what, and we did see some returns. One of them being Liv Morgan.
Yes.
So yeah.
And she eliminated Jade.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was pretty good the way she was eliminated. So I mean, if she's gonna get eliminated, might as well do it the best way. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a great start. Got the crowd hyped up for sure, and I know y'all was tired after that.
Ooh, yes, we were. And I had talking about the next match going in. I have a present for you and Elvis. But I have to switch over our brand real quick because I uploaded it to the wrong one. So bear with me. It's just going to look like this for a few seconds while I give you your present. All right, here we go. The ones, romantic.
Look at that.
There
You
we
like-
go.
Thank you. You're like me. You were feeling it, eyes closed and everything. That's me when he comes. I'm like, yes. It's kind of like when you're in church, you let the Holy Spirit take over you, and you're just like, yes, yes, my trouble chief. My trouble chief.
No,
Thank
I
you for
was
what you've done.
I was very conflicted. I mean, I acknowledged him when he came out, but when everybody was in the ring, I was like, "No, I love all of you. Don't
I
do it."
know, I know. I thought it was a good match.
It was. I kind of want to see them do something else besides having the bloodline come in and interfere all the time. I would like to see Roman win or something without doing all that kind of stuff. And I was hoping that they wouldn't do it here just because there's so many more components. I thought it would have muddied it up. But if they did have to have them interfere, at least it was this way, and they didn't have a direct impact on the finish either. And I will say this, LA Knight is stupid over. Stupid over.
Oh yeah.
It was absolutely crazy. Every time he did anything, it was yeah.
He's
So
a
good.
mega star. Well, I mean, I know Roman's not the Holy Spirit or anything. I know that Jesus is the Most High. I know. I believe it. But Roman just, I don't know. He just does something to me.
I understand. Yes, this was 48,000 people last night. Not last night, but Saturday.
He deserves it. He deserves it. I love it.
He holds his own with all of those guys like nobody I've ever really seen. Like I don't know if you saw any clips from last week's SmackDown in Miami, but when he grabbed that mic and he was talking to everybody, he was pointing at AJ and going, "I'm walking all over you," and then he pointed at Randy and said, "And I'm walking all over you and your little voices in your head."
Yeah, I saw that.
He's so great at everything he does. I just yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, this was a good match. I think everybody had a nice everybody had a good showing all around. I mean, how can you not? You have 4 big stars in the ring.
Mhm. 2 former WWE champions, a future WWE champion in LA Knight, and of course the current ones. So it's the main event in WWE. I haven't seen it look this stacked since we were kids, really, because back then if someone got hurt, you could just pull somebody else in and pick up right where they left off, and it was great. and we really haven't had that depth in a really long time. So, with some unfortunate events happening coming towards WrestleMania, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments, but it's going to put a twist in the WrestleMania plans, unfortunately. But this match overall was good. It was a lot of fun. Each guy got to shine and do their little thing. So no one was just like the the um the punching bag, I guess you would say.
I also have some advice for the women. For the women, what you should do, just to kind of make your man mad, just take pictures. Well, for me, I took pictures of Roman. Or you could take pictures of all the guys or any other guy too, and just continuously send them to your hubby, and just be like, "Oh my god, he's so hot! Look at him, he's fine." I had so much fun with that. Just kidding. You gotta have fun sometimes, and
Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily go that far. but yeah, there's sometimes I'm like, "Oh, Randy is cute." And that, I leave it at that.
yeah.
But yeah.
No, I'm just having fun, y'all. But no, this is good. This is good all the way around. I knew when Solo came out there, I was like, oh, here we go.
Dalton says, I got SmackDown on February 9th in Charlotte, and I'm going to be so upset if LA Knight isn't there. Yeah, let's pray that he is, just for you, Dalton. He's not as on. I don't know what that means, but that's okay.
Oh, she changed.
Oh, okay.
I think she was talking about LA Knight.
Yeah, because he was that Max Dupree model type thing, and he hated that, by the way. And we're so glad that he's back to being himself.
Yeah.
And Dalton, yeah. Dalton also said, also Majestic Marie, describe to the people what that Woe and Cody's music not only sounds like, but feels like at this point. Like if it was a third as loud as WrestleMania, it gives me chills as I talk about it. Yeah, it probably wasn't as loud as WrestleMania because, there wasn't as many people. But it was pretty crazy. Actually, honestly, Jade Cargill and LA Knight got bigger pops than Cody did. But the Woe is crazy. Everybody does that. It's amazing. I think CM Punk might have gotten a bigger pop than him too, but yeah, Cody of course is over, and I think he's actually going to do it. So, without further ado, oh wait, we got one more match to talk about before we get to that. We have the U.S. Championship with Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. How did you feel about the finish of this match? I've been seeing some people like it and some people don't. I thought whether you like it or dislike it, it was creative.
I agree. I think it helps continue the story too.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of in and out during this match, putting up dinner and stuff. So
yeah, it was the bathroom match for the majority of the people there. I felt, yeah.
Unfortunately, I hate it, but no. I think it was clever, like you said. And he got caught red-handed, and it allows to continue the story. And I really somebody I think somebody in our chat pointed out that they noticed Logan Paul stopped selling like halfway past the match. It's like he kind of gets in a moment and forgets. I haven't really watched that match back to kind of see, but I mean, for what it was, I mean, it was a good match. From what I saw, and I like the finish.
Well, we have to remember that Logan Paul shouldn't be as good as he is at the time for as long as he's been doing it.
Right.
So that even if he's doing those little tiny mistakes, there's still little tiny mistakes. And as he keeps going on, he will continue to improve. So if that was the mistake that he made, that he forgot to sell something, I mean, at least he didn't hurt anybody or,
Right.
wasn't there when he was supposed to catch
Yeah.
someone or anything like that. So at least it was a mistake like that. But yeah, I like the fact that they have Austin Theory and Grayson Waller maybe be in cahoots with Logan Paul and
Yeah.
maybe form a little, I don't know, a little not a faction, but just, being his little um his little the little dudes that do all of his dirty work. I think
Cohorts.
cohorts, that's what I'm looking for. And especially with Elimination Chamber being around the corner, this is probably going to be a rematch there.
Yeah.
And with having Grayson Waller involved in something on that show because he's from Australia, there's that too. So
Yeah, speaking of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, I don't know if you saw it, but they had like a backstage interview with the two of them before the show started, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna be the first double elimination in X amount of years," and they're like, "But I'm not gonna throw you out. No, I'm not gonna throw you out either." It was fun. They're like, we'll throw each other out together. We'll main event together. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And I'm like, oh, y'all ain't.
silliness, I love it. Ron said, kind of gave me a reverse Eddie finish vibe. Yeah, it just didn't work. He's dirty. Is that what his character is supposed to be with the Chester aspect?
Chester Cheetah.
I guess. Kevin Owens is a baby face, but he's not a white meat baby face. So if he has the opportunity just to get the upper hand, he's going to take it.
Yeah.
So
he's KO. Taurus. Fellow Taurus.
It's okay. And Logan Paul, he's naturally, I think he has a arrogant, just kind of slight jerk side to his personality. So I think him being a heel, he's just natural at it. It comes naturally to him. So he's really good at that, and he's good at playing to the crowd and garnishing that heat for himself. So I think that he's going to do really great things. I do.
I agree.
All right. Now time for the main event of the evening. The men's Royal Rumble match. It was not as good as the women's. And I don't think they did a good job of sprinkling the stars out like they did for the women's. It was really cool to see Andrade. He got a decent pop, but they saved all the big names for last. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, all of them were last instead of being sprinkled throughout, and we just got a bunch of mid-carders in the middle. I will have to say that them starting with Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, that was great. That was a fantastic part.
That was smart. I enjoyed that.
Like, that was a big pop. And then it was funny. When Jay hit Jimmy, we were yelling yeet. And then when Jimmy hit Jay, we were yelling no yeet. So that was a lot of fun. And then I don't remember who came out in third, but Andrade came out fourth or fifth, and that was really cool.
Fifth was Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah. And yeah, it was good. Braun Breaker made his little Rumble debut. I'm not sure if he is main roster bound or not, but
yeah, there's some rumors going around. I will say that I really enjoyed his showing with Gunther.
Yes.
I think if rumors are true, we could very well see him challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I wouldn't mind that after seeing the showing that they had. I
Yep.
said that to Alex. I said, you know what? I wouldn't mind a match between these two.
Yeah, if Brock is impossible and we don't know if his name is ever going to be cleared or whatever. But yeah, if you can't have that, then this is a good, runner up, I guess. Or have Randy Orton challenge Gunther too. I
Yeah, I
mean,
could
that
have that too. I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to that. I definitely think if they planted any seeds, it would be definitely here.
yeah, yeah. And he wasn't in the Rumble, but I was excited to see Trick Williams on SmackDown come in for the save with Carmelo Hayes, and those people went crazy. So that was really great to see Trick Williams get that kind of reception on the main roster.
Good, good.
Yeah, he's I think he's a little bit more charismatic than Carmelo Hayes. Not that Carmelo Hayes is bad or anything. He's going to be a star too, but Trick Williams just seems to have something really special. So I was a little sad he wasn't at the Royal Rumble, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, they could have staggered the entrance better. But I do love the fact that R-Truth came out at the same number he came out in the Women's Rumble, and then he thought it was a tag match.
Oh,
That
man.
was great. Oh my god.
Yes, he was handing out his hand to Dominic, and sometime I'll have to upload that video too, but I have a video of right when they announced Dominic's music went off and his name came up. That booze. It was so funny. I think I was the only one excited to see him. But it was
Love
good.
I love
I'm
it.
so that dude has come so far. It's crazy. And I was really sad though because they attacked R-Truth on Monday Night Raw. So that
Hey,
was
but we
sad.
get an awesome Truth reunion though. I'm kind of glad for that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Cheater aspect.
Ah.
Christine, unfortunately Brock is mixed up in the allegations that Vince McMahon was facing. So, innocent until proven guilty, but they can't have anyone tarnishing the product right now. It's kind of a touchy subject. So, that's why he was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble and be eliminated by Gunther, I believe, or Dominic Mysterio, one or the other. I think it might have been Dominic. And he was supposed to have a match with Dominic at Elimination Chamber and then supposed to be challenging Gunther at WrestleMania. So that was supposed to have been the Brock Lesnar plan, and it just not going to happen. But that's okay. We're going to move on and talk about the people that are innocent and positive. So, what else? What else happened in this match that was really cool? Just CM Punk and Cody Rhodes being last was really a cool moment.
I really thought it was going to be a double elimination. I really thought, but I thought it was pretty good. And Gunther was in the top 3. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was excited about that. Gunther didn't come off as strong as he did last year, but he still had a good showing in it, and I was excited to see him. I went absolutely bonkers when Gunther came out. I was excited to see him. There's just something about the big, strong dudes just coming out there and throwing people around and then going home. I just love that. I don't know why, but it's kind of my favorite type of wrestler, I think.
Hey, you know what? I totally forgot about Omos when he come out, and I was like, oh, he's still around.
Yeah, he's still around.
Okay. I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But anyway. What else? What else? Everybody booed when Priesty came out. And everybody booed when he eliminated R-Truth. And it
Ugh,
was sad. It was sad, but I still love my Priesty. So,
yes. Yes.
yep. And Cody Rhodes is our winner. He looked right at Roman Reigns and pointed at him from the turnbuckle and said, "It's you, it's you." But then on Monday Night Raw, we get a curveball.
You know, I
Seth,
really like the way that was done. I saw that before we got on too.
yes, Seth comes out. Excuse me, sorry. Seth comes out and he says, "Hey, Cody, do you want the Hollywood Hulk Hogan title or do you want the Dusty Rhodes title?" Just throwing it in his face and being like, "This is the workhorse title. This is the one that guys like us, we built and we made important. And, this is the title that is defended week in and week out. This is the title that you should go for." Really making a name for himself and his title, which I think makes just everything a little bit more interesting. It's not so cut and dry. I
Yeah.
think that they have done a really good job of lately of just mixing everybody up. And every week it seems like we get a little flavor of, oh, this might happen or that might happen. We might see these
It
two
keeps
guys
you
face each
guessing, and
other.
you need that.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Like, I thought that CM Punk was going to win the Rumble, but I wasn't sure. And the fact that they just kind of, there was so many possibilities on who could win the Rumble, and it would make perfect sense. So kudos to them for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. When I read that about it this morning, I was like, "Ooh, interesting." So it'll be very interesting to see what Cody ultimately decides. Especially because with The Rock, making that comment about being at the head of the table, that really planted seeds for a showdown down the road. Is it going to be in Philadelphia? Is it going to be in Perth? It might be at the next WrestleMania. I don't know, but
We won't know. Some
you know,
people are guessing it'll be Rock and Roman night 1 and Roman and Cody night 2.
it could always be that too. Yeah, so like it's all kinds of possibilities.
And some people are like, well, Rock and Roman are the bigger match, so you should have that night too. But if they face each other, Roman needs to win.
Yeah.
So if he beats The Rock night 1, he looks like he's unstoppable and he's this monster and Cody's this little puny ant who can't do it, And then when he finally does it, he just like, whoa,
Yeah, it would be like The Rock passing the torch to Roman, and then like you could easily have the story of Roman is getting in over his head, like letting his ego get the best of him, because like he's going on almost 4 years as a champion, and
Yeah.
to which he would break Hulk Hogan's record by November of this year if they chose to go that route, but I could see that happening. They could create, oh, Roman thinks he's, you can't stop me. He's going to go in with a big head, and Cody can take advantage of that. That's simple yet easy,
I know.
And
I
good.
mean, it doesn't
Storytelling.
really matter which way you go. I don't know if there's a wrong answer to this, and that is what's so great. They built it in a way where there's really not a wrong answer in which way they decide to go.
Yeah.
Except for Takira, so Tozawa challenging Roman, that would be the wrong move. But other than that, Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's fun. So yeah, another thing we need to talk about is, unfortunately, and I noticed this at the Royal Rumble, that after Drew McIntyre was eliminated, Punk started holding his arm a whole lot during that last little bout with Cody, and I was like, "Oh no, is there something wrong?" Because he was just like every 5 seconds holding onto his arm like this, and I was like, "Oh no, he's hurt." And unfortunately, that was so. He tore his triceps clean off the bone, and he's going to be out for at least 6 months, I believe. And he comes out there on Monday night and talks, saying that WrestleMania is not in the cards this year, and it might not ever be a possibility for him, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And just saying that, just trying to put a positive foot on everything, and saying that he's going to be working hard to come back. And here comes Drew McIntyre, and he starts off. You think that he's showing a little bit of sympathy towards CM Punk. You're like, oh, that's sweet. And then he says, I prayed for this to happen, and it did. My prayers were answered. I'm so glad you're hurt. You're a toxic person, and I hate you, pretty much, is what he said.
Savage Drew is the best Drew. Did you see the post on Instagram that he put?
Oh, yes, where he posted that picture of that guy doing like this in front of a
Buried
grave.
alive, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like CM Punk at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was like, that is savage. Oh my God.
CM Punk was injured during a DDT that Drew put on him. So he's just, yeah. He's just embracing it, I guess.
Yeah.
And going, yes, it was me. I got rid of him.
Hey, and it makes for a hot story. Once CM Punk returns, you know who he's going after.
Yeah, let's hope that Drew McIntyre actually re-signed. I'm guessing he did. They wouldn't tease that if he didn't. And they wouldn't make him look like this really. I think he's been doing the best work of his life, of his career, the past several months. So I think he's there to stay. They just haven't announced it yet.
Right.
Let's get into some comments real quick before we say goodbye. Christine says, I saw a news story about WWE that Roman is on his way out and that Cody is going to be the new king. I haven't seen anything like that, but you never know. And Christine also says, I don't like how Drew has changed. Yeah, he's kind of a meanie head right now. I like it, but I understand that it's not for everybody. I'm the weirdo that likes the bad boys, so.
Drew is on Christine's boo list.
Yes, boo. Boo. So that was kind of the highlights of Monday Night Raw that I saw. I know there was a segment with Bailey and the Damage Control, but I didn't see it. Was there anything that happened in that segment that was worth talking about?
I don't know. I didn't catch any of that.
Okay, so we'll have to talk about Bailey's accepted speech after she won the Royal Rumble next time.
Yeah, I know I think she's making her decision on SmackDown.
Okay. You know what I see her doing? Actually challenging Rhea Ripley, but then she changes it later on to Io Sky.
Could do that.
We'll have to see how it goes. I think it's going to be a slow story.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch those girls.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Alora, or?
Not off the top of my head. WWE related.
All right, y'all. That's the show for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be on here a whole lot more than we recently have been. A lot of stuff personally was going on with both of us, so we hadn't been able to do much. But we are back full speed, so keep an eye on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And we got some cool things that we're hoping that we'll have planned out for the coming year. So Well, for now, we will say goodbye, and thank you so much for joining us. Bye. Good night, sweet peach. It's time to go. Good night, sweet peach.